Over 6 months after a massive earthquake hit Haiti, a plan is underway to help the millions of people still living in tents and fearful of unsafe buildings. Alabluina lost 3 members of her family in the earthquake when her house collapsed. Home is now a tent. Even though camp life is difficult, Alab is too afraid to move back into a house. In Haiti, tent cities have become the norm. An estimated 1.5 million people live in them. Space is cramped, there is a lack of privacy, and huge vulnerability to the elements.
People are very traumatized by this event, and giving them reassurance if their building is safe is very important, because currently a lot of people are living outside their house, even if it's perfectly safe and perfectly intact.
After the earthquake destroyed or damaged hundreds of thousands of buildings throughout the country, many Haitians have no other living options. Some don't have a home to go to, others are too afraid to return to their old homes. Buildings tagged green are deemed safe. Those with a yellow tag require work, and those labeled red should be avoided. The Haitian government, with the support of a large World Bank-funded reconstruction program, is currently providing free building inspections to assess the safety of questionable structures.
C'est rouge parce que c'est dangereux, parce que pour une réplique, la maison n'est pas aussi résistante pour une autre réplique.
270 Haitian engineers have been trained by international earthquake specialists. So far, they have assessed in excess of 140,000 buildings. While a red tag is not good news for the building's owner, it does at least provide some clarity and advice on what he needs to do to protect himself. For those whose homes are tagged green, they can rest assured knowing they are living in safety. One of the many goals is to develop a blueprint for sturdier structures that can handle future natural disasters.
Welcome to the first broadcast of Carib Focus, where weekly we'll present news and events that affect Caribbean nationals in the Tampa Bay area. I'm Ron Bobb-Semple, your host, and it is a pleasure for me to be invited into your home or your office. It's been almost 8 months now since Haiti was devastated by a powerful earthquake. It shook the entire region and the entire world at large. There have been many reports that there has not been much progress with the infrastructure, the hospitals, the schools, and just a minimal amount of the pledges that were donated through the UN-backed commission, which is led by the former President Bill Clinton, has been received. The mainstream media has now left Haiti, but we here on Carib Focus will continue to keep you up to date with the status or lack thereof of what exists in Haiti. Well, joining us today, Robin Baldwin. She's a graduate student in the University of South Florida's Africana graduate program and is completing research on educational disparities as perceived by the Haitian population in the Tampa Bay area. Also joining us is Janet McGuire. She is the communications officer of the West Coast region of the American Red Cross. And also joining us this evening is Mr. Ulrich Germain, and he comes to us representing Helping Hands Worldwide, which is located in the Tampa Bay area. And last but certainly not least, we are joined by Evelyn Drake. She is the coordinator of the Women's Federation for World Peace. Welcome you all to Carib Focus.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, we're going to jump right in it. Robin, In your research, what are some of the misconceptions that you have realized within the Haitian community, especially here in Tampa Bay?
Well, as you mentioned, my research really centers around education and how the Haitian community is perceiving some educational inequalities here locally in the Tampa Bay area, but this is also something that happens wherever there are large groups of Haitian populations. So some of the feedback that I was getting from my research before the earthquake ever happened is that stigma is a big factor when we're looking at issues that come up for students in education. You know, the stigma from their peers. There's a lot of desire to assimilate. So post-earthquake, we're seeing that has raised to a whole new level because now the world is aware of Haiti. Now people who might not have known much about Haiti before see multiple images in the media and hear over and over the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and they're seeing, you know, all of these images of poverty. So that stigma issue is still very present. The good thing that happened is we had a number of Haitian families come into the Tampa Bay area because they were medical refugees. You know, they came here for health care afterwards. And with that influx in the Haitian population here, there started to be more recognition and more of a voice, and the school board in Hillsborough County especially took notice and said, what are we going to do to make sure that these students are accommodated and taken care of? So that's been a positive response from the earthquake.
You mentioned post-earthquake. What was the immediate reaction from the Haitian students right after January 12th?
Well, my research, I don't communicate directly with the students. My research is really focusing on the adult perceptions because they're able to say, as the adults and the people that are you know, caring for the children that are in the schools, to recognize what things don't seem.
What was their immediate reaction?
You know, the community, the Haitian community in Tampa immediately came together. The community is it's a strong base anyway, but some people don't realize what a large Haitian community we have in this area. So immediately, within days after the earthquake, I know that just through my contacts socially and through my research, I was able to get in touch with a number of organizational leaders, community leaders, and say, okay, let's get together and figure out how we're going to respond to this. It was really, let's move into action. And within 5 days, we had over 70 people show up to a meeting to really discuss what are we going to do, who's going to go to Haiti, who's going to take care of drives here, who's going to work on marketing and raising money. And it was really a beautiful response. So it was really action.
The earthquake that devastated Haiti on January 12th took the lives of more than 200,000 Haitians and left much of Port-au-Prince, the capital city, in ruins. With a long-term presence in the country, the American Red Cross quickly joined the Haitian Red Cross to rapidly respond with first aid and soon helped to distribute critical relief items such as tarps, sleeping mats, kitchen sets, and blankets. In the months that followed, the American Red Cross also provided millions of prepackaged meals and water purification supplies, and helped small businesses grow through microloans. While the Red Cross response has touched almost 2 million people, the situation in the tent communities of Port-au-Prince remains difficult. With 1.5 million people estimated to be living in makeshift shelters and tents, Haitians are more vulnerable than ever to the dangers of hurricanes and the rainy season. Given the vulnerable position of so many camp residents, the American Red Cross is directing a series of disaster risk reduction programs in hopes of lessening the impact of flooding, heavy winds, and mudslides.
Le lac qui a tombé dans zone là, je pense que c'est vraiment dangereux pour nous-mêmes qui vivons dans le camp. C'est parce que nous pas fait étude de terrain exactement pour connaître ce qu'il y a un glissement de terrain. Et que nous passons avec la Croix-Rouge qui fait intervention avec nous dans le camp. Ils forment nous pour nous alerter les zones, le cap des cyclones, la pluie, le cap des tremblements de terre, le cap de toute l'autre bagaille pour nous faire mesures de prévention que nous avons fait. Il est juste comme si faire prévention pour camp et que nous avons fait canalisation, drainage à rebord de tantio pour nous juste drainer de l'eau à la guénon pour fondre. Nous félicitons, nous disons merci tout. Et encore parce que la travail avec nous, le racheter, pour nous avons dans quelle mesure que nous avons atteint tout ça que nous avons dans le camp. Et que nous disons, nous ne pouvons pas laguer, nous ne pouvons pas give up, mais nous avons toujours qu'un toute façon que nous avons prudent, nous avons porté collaboration nous avec tout le monde qui vit dans le camp, nous avons vivre en équipe, en communauté, et que nous avons juste façon, nous avons essayé, juste repédaler, continuer avec la vie. Et que nous disons, life's big, ok, life's big. Et que tout le monde qui est dans le camp, nous sensibiliser, nous mobiliser, nous faire formation non plus, et que nous avons une vision que par les côtés que et que nous avons pédaler pour nous bouger, et que nous disons avec la Croix-Rouge, Red Cross américain, et nous avons bougé quand même.
Recognizing that camp residents will have a better chance of weathering the rainy season if they are well prepared, the American Red Cross is also directing a series of disaster preparation programs focused on topics such as emergency first aid, early warning systems, and evacuation planning.
Grâce avec l'école ça, il était venu faire avec nous, qui fait nous connaître si nous avons des gens qui boule la caille nous, comment pour nous faire, il vient montrer nous tout comment pour nous venir qui sensible, pour nous aimer l'autre monde même j'en nous aimer petit nous, si moun yo grand monde, si moun petit yo avec grand monde yo, moun qui avec moun qui kokobé paralysé yo, n'a ouais si nous capable sauver yo. N'a relé pour capable de sauver moun sa yo, n'a pas annoncer ça. Pour capable de chaper quoi pour ne pas mourir pendant temps ça pendant la pluie a tomber.
In the weeks and months to come, the American Red Cross will be expanding its programs in 10 communities across Port-au-Prince, providing emergency supplies, health training, and financial assistance to Haitians. Our approach to helping vulnerable communities face the challenges ahead is best summed up in the slogan on the Red Cross volunteers' shirts. In Creole, the saying goes, "Ensemble nous paraît." In English, "Together we are ready."
You can catch Vision TV every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. Verizon Channel 30. Bright House Channel 950. Comcast Channel 20 and live on iVisionTV.net.
Well, one of the organizations that we know of that has been in Haiti for quite a while is the Red Cross, and representing the Red Cross is Jan McGuire. Jan, the Red Cross is internationally known for assisting millions of people throughout the world, different types of disasters. Tell us about some of the involvement of the Red Cross that we do not hear about on a regular basis.
There are so many, and there are things that we've been doing in Haiti long before the earthquake. Not just disaster-oriented, but health and safety services. Measles initiative. We have HIV and AIDS education that's been ongoing in that country for many, many years. And working, and even today, to make sure that those diseases and prevention of those diseases is not spread. They're going tent by tent if they need to educate people on different types of hygiene and how to prevent things from being spread. In a disaster situation, no matter what kind of disaster it is, that fear is always there. And one of the good things that has happened is we have seen that we really were afraid of the different types of diseases that were going to be spread because of this terrible, terrible disaster. And I am still so surprised that that has been not as widespread anywhere close to what we expected it to be.
Right, because prior to the earthquake, I mean, there was a lot of congestion.
Yes.
I mean, the folks are just almost literally living on top of each other. Right. And now what has happened after the earthquake, whereby so many people are now in much smaller areas under tents or without tents. Of course, there's that fear of that promiscuity, and resultingly, unfortunately, the increase of AIDS infection. Many NGOs that operate in Haiti have been coming under fire.
Yes.
They've been coming under fire because of the slow progress that apparently is being made in Haiti. What have some of the positive things been that the Red Cross has done, and where do you feel the organization's effectiveness is lacking?
I think what we're looking at is a situation where we find in every single disaster there is a period of time that people react, and as you said, the mainstream media has left. That feels they feel like they're being abandoned. We are still there. We are going to be there anywhere from 3 to 5 years down the road until that last penny is spent. And that's what we're accounting for. When a donor gives us 5 cents, we want them to know where that money is going. And that's something that's very important. And we're making sure that the progress is definitely slow. If we spend that money too fast, we may be giving it to different contractors that may not be legitimate. We want to make sure that the land is titled correctly. Those types of things take time, and as the infrastructure needs to be rebuilt, so do the schools, so does the healthcare facilities. We are helping to fund different organizations throughout the world that are there with us to make sure that this is happening in the correct and proper and wise manner.
We're going to move on to Evelyn. Evelyn, as coordinator of the Women's Federation of World Peace, what challenges have you encountered in attempting to make an impact on the world?
I would like to share a little bit about Women's Federation because some people may not know about it.
Please.
So Women's Federation is working in 191 countries, and we're promoting family values, character, education, and service. So we are focusing mainly on service at this time. And we have worked in Haiti before, and we do a lot of service activities dealing with families. And now we're doing some medical project, basically, because that's what is most needed now. So the challenge is how to reach out to many more people, because the need is so great now in Haiti. So we have been working in Cap Haitian. Cap Haitian has a population of 190,000 people. And after the earthquake, 150,000 moved from Port-au-Prince to Cap Haitian. So the city is truly overwhelmed. And lack of food, lack of material for the people, and lodging, and all of these things. So what we, Women's Federation, are providing for the people now is medical supplies to be able to take care of those people that left from Port-au-Prince to Cap Haitian. Because these people, nobody knows so much about them because they left from Port-au-Prince to come there. And the mayor of the town is truly overwhelmed by the situation, because to take care of so many people is very difficult. To lodge them, to feed them, and to give them medical care.
You were in Haiti recently. As emotional as it probably is, paint a picture for us as to what exists in Haiti right now amongst the people.
Yes, the situation is very difficult, and many of these people, they have lack of water, vitamins, medication, even the children, lack of protein even. The children are so, I always say, skinny, and it's very difficult even for the families to provide. The families that are there to provide for those people that are coming, because they have no place to go, because there is not enough help in Port-au-Prince for them. They are not receiving the help. So they are coming to Cap Haitian to receive the help. So in Cap Haitian, there is no help either, because most of the help being sent to Port-au-Prince. So it's very, very difficult even for the people to live there. And from the United States, we organize group of doctors and nurses to go and help these people. But we have to come with our own medicine to be able to give free medical help for these people.
Speaking of medical help, Ulrich Germain, your organization Helping Hands Worldwide, it has been reported that there are warehouses in Haiti that are full of food and services since January that have not been distributed. Isn't this unconscionable?
Well, for those who doesn't know me, I will say it again, my name is Ulrich Germain, and I'm with My Helping Hand Worldwide. That's a non-profit organization which was created in 2007 because we've been on the ground helping. My father-in-law, we have a church and a school in Croix de Bouquet where we're helping people every day. They come to school, they don't have the means to pay, we have to give them scholarship and everything. So My Helping Hand was created in order to help more people get access to school, because in Haiti, if you know, it's not like the USA where if you on the age up to 18 years old, you can go to school for free. In Haiti, in order for you to go to school, you have to have the ability to pay for it, because most of the schools are private schools, they are not public. In the public school that we have, they are very limited. And that's why we created My Helping Hand to help on a greater scale, get people from, age to go to school, get the basic skills so they can learn how to read and write.
How much of bureaucracy do you have to go through to get that assistance?
It's not much of a bureaucracy. We just need some paperwork. If you cannot pay for it, because most of the people who come to school, they cannot afford it anyway. Yeah, I would say about 70% of the people who come to our school, they have scholarship.
Oh, okay.
To answer your question, I think it's very difficult to answer that question when we know people, they need the food and they cannot get it. Or they need the medicine, it's stuck somewhere and it's not distributed.
That's a bureaucracy to which I'm referring, because even in orphanages, the small children are sleeping on floors and the pantry is empty. These are individuals who cannot necessarily help themselves. Somebody, has to be in charge. Somebody has to make decisions as to when these foods and services will be released, because Haitians are peacefully waiting for relief. Because in a situation like this, you would expect a lot of uproar and rioting and fighting and carrying on, which fortunately has been minimal. And that just tells you the heart and the spirit of the Haitian people. I'd like to ask this question of all of you. And Janet, you may be in a much better position to answer this question. What has happened to the $11 billion odd that have been pledged by the international community, including the United States, that have been promised to this devastated country? Is it just smoke and mirrors?
Not at all, and I can really just speak for the amount of money that has been raised for the Red Cross.
Okay.
We've actually, the total amount as of the 6-month period, which we all know has been a tremendous, tremendous gift from all across the country and the world. We've actually raised over $400 million, and a lot of that money has been spent, but there's a lot of money that has not been spent. And the reason that money has not been spent is because we can't spend it all at one time in the wrong way.
Is this $400 million what has been pledged, or this is what the Red Cross has actually received?
That's what we have received.
Okay.
We can break it down to percentages of exactly where it's been spent, and you can see that online. right here in the Tampa Bay area, and this is one of the things I get goosebumps every time I think about it, we raised over $4.3 million in Tampa Bay for a disaster in another part of the world. That to me is just amazing, and it was the Tampa Bay residents that stepped up shortly after the earthquake. We have a USF Red Cross Club right here on the campus, and they held a press conference because they wanted to do something. Many of those kids, we asked if there was anyone in the room that had any relatives that they were looking for, if they wanted to go over and speak to the media, to go over to one side of the room. I expected maybe 3 or 4. There were dozens. There were dozens, and we just stood there with tears running down our face listening to their stories. But these people just joined together with us and worked very hard. When those planes were coming in with the injured, they were there to make sure that all of the medical crews and the first responders that were helping to bring these children and these wounded people off of this plane were there to make sure that they can help and do whatever they can. And people step forward, and we're not going to let that fall apart. One of the things that's very important, because people want to help, is to be transparent about it. And I think that every agency that's involved has an obligation to be as transparent.
Is the Red Cross still getting donations for the Haiti Relief Fund?
You know, every time that we talk about it, just like on your show, we have somebody that calls up, can I still help? You can always help, because this is something that we're going to be needing. They estimate that it's going to be $12 billion that's needed to bring Haiti back to where it was. Haiti needs to be better than it was. And that's something that is our goal, to make sure that they're going to be hit by another hurricane. We know that. They're in no condition right now to withstand that. So we need to make sure that they are better off than they were before.
Evelyn, you're involved with supplying health facilities and to the people in Haiti. The healthcare system needs to be built, not rebuilt, because there wasn't much of a healthcare system before the earthquake. How effective has your organization been as far as trying to get those health facilities into Haiti and trying to restructure structure the healthcare system?
Yes, our organization on the world level is not dealing. They're dealing with Haiti, but we are in Tampa, because we are here in Tampa. We are representing our organization in Tampa area.
Okay.
So we are helping from Tampa area. But the organization as a big, they're doing other activities. So I am here visiting Tampa. so I cannot explain, I cannot share what is the organization is doing as a whole. But in Tampa, that's what we've been doing.
Okay.
So
but
we
do you have an arm of that of the organization in Haiti? Is there a branch of the Women's Federation to World Peace in Haiti?
No, not in Haiti. No,
okay.
No, we are here in Tampa.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have been working in Haiti because I am Haitian and I want to help. So then, from our area here, we are doing the service activities to help in this way. So we have been working with medical doctors in Haiti. These are Haitian doctors that volunteer their time to go in the countryside to help the people.
Yeah.
And then we are providing medical supplies to them so they can do the work. Because these people, they live in the countryside. They have no access to any medical help whatsoever. So we are going there with the medicine and the medical doctors to show the support.
Okay, Robin, you wanted to say?
Yeah, if I may, I just want to comment on the Women's Federation for World Peace. I was able to travel with them last summer before the earthquake in June, and we were doing work in Lekai at that point. And there was a hospital there that had gone on strike. I mean, everyone was on strike, and so as an organization, we were able to come in and hand out some supplies. But I think the beautiful thing that Women's Federation is doing correctly is that they really utilize Haitian medical personnel, utilize people there in the community to do the work. So it gives them an opportunity to serve, to fulfill their role as a doctor or nurse or whatever it is. And I think that's what needs to happen. We need to involve the communities there in Haiti in the projects that we're doing. So they work with IRFF. I forgot what it stands for, but they're working with a team of doctors there. So I just wanted to comment, Women's Federation is doing medical work in that respect. You know.
Yes, Evelyn mentioned about doctors in Haiti. Yeah, I heard on an interview on CNN, I think it was, that most of the international doctors are no longer in Haiti.
Right.
Partly true. One of the new initiatives that we've just started doing, and we wanted to address that exact issue, is to not just bring in foreign doctors and healthcare workers, but to actually, we put some money aside so that we can actually pay 1,800 medical doctors and nurses and other medical staff that have been working but have not been paid since the earthquake. So we said, let's put some money aside here so that they can keep on working and still get some pay out of this. And to really help fund, there's a German Red Cross hospital that started there that instead of, they were running out of funds to stay. We're helping to fund that with the donated dollars that we have. The prosthetics that are needed for the children and the ones that have lost limbs, we're putting money into that to make sure that they can get those, because those things are not something that they're going to be able to fund for themselves.
Right. The reason why I brought up the fact of the doctors not being in Haiti, as I mentioned earlier, the international community has not delivered those funds that were supposed to have been raised. I don't know if it's because of the economic crisis that the folks are holding on to their monies, but at least, if you're not going to send that ready cash, at least have your doctors there to alleviate the situations and the pressure that the Haitian doctors are under.
Partly, too, is the elections are coming up, and the government itself was destroyed. There are so many different things that are going on in there. Who is going to administer the funds that are getting, where does that come from? And I think that's one of the things that needs to be addressed by the Haitian government, is who's going to be administering those funds and where are they going to be giving it out at the right proper time. And at the point where they have had so much problems in so many of the area down there, they've had to really rebuild. They have not even the records that they have.
So what I wanted to share is that everybody, when they say Haiti, they say Haiti. But they say Port-au-Prince is Haiti. Port-au-Prince is not Haiti. We have to be very clear on this. We have 10 different provinces that are well in a working vote, they're doing their work, but it's not Port-au-Prince. Port-au-Prince is not Haiti. There are many, many more places in Haiti that need the help and the support, because these people, these individuals or families are displaced. They move to those 10 different areas. So, and they are not receiving the help, because all the 10 areas are not receiving, all the helps are going to Port-au-Prince. And the people are moving from Port-au-Prince and they are going to those areas, as I was sharing before. 150,000 are in Cap-Haïtien now, and many are coming constantly.
Yes, but
it's not only in Cap-Haïtien, but there's Lekay, there are all the other cities these people are living, coming to. But these cities are overwhelmed. They have no way to help.
But the hurricane season is well on its way.
Yes.
And there's a lot of flooding because of the deforestation in Haiti. There's no resistance, and water just comes right down those mountains.
Exactly.
Into the areas where these tents are being blown away and destroyed. Are these elements being taken into consideration when there's talk about folks moving en masse into La Cap-Haïtien or Jacmel or
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, all right.
The people, they feel they are by themselves. They have to fend for themselves. And it's very, very difficult. Because when you have families coming to you and you have hardly anything to give to them, it's very, very difficult. It's a very difficult situation now. So if you don't go, you will not see the reality. So it's a very pitiful situation, because these people are there, there's no food for them. They say, do you receive any food from anybody? No. Water? No. So that families are taking care of these families. They go into other people's homes, and then these people are opening their homes to receive these families, which themselves, they don't have so much.
Including removing some of the rubble with their bare hands.
Hello everybody, my name is Ivy from BET's College Show Interns, and whenever I'm not out and about, I am tuning in to iVision TV.
You can catch iVision TV every Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. Verizon Channel 30. Bright House Channel 950. Comcast Channel 20 and live on iVisionTV.net.
Each of you, I'll start with you, Evelyn, in your estimation, how long do you think it will take Haiti to come back to some semblance of normalcy?
It's going to take a long time.
In your estimation, how do you quantify a long time?
I'm talking about 30, 40 years. 30, 40 years from what I've seen there now. Because there's no schools broken, and many of these teachers die. So it's going to take a very, very long time to rebuild the nation again.
Janet?
And the nation cannot be rebuilt just by itself. It has to be the cooperation of all nations working together to really make something happen at this time. That's
Janet,
what I
from what you have experienced with the Red Cross, how long do you think Haiti needs to really get back on her feet?
You know, one of the things that we've estimated, as I said before, that it may take 3 to 5 years to get it back to where it was, but we need to get it beyond that. But one of the things that I can't let go of is the fact that the Haitian people have raised so much of our awareness of what we need to be like, because their resiliency has really made such an impact on everybody. You compared it to Katrina. The Haitian people were up there singing. Every time that we found someone that was alive, they were singing. And that was so inspirational, and I think that helps all of us. And I think that focus will never go away.
I think, too, it's because of the value that they put on a life.
Yes, exactly.
A life. Ulrich.
Well, I would agree. We cannot wait for 30 years for that to go back, because people need to go to school. They need shelter. These are basic things you need to live, and that's something that needs to be done now. And what I would like to say to everybody who's Haitian descent who's listening, we cannot wait just for the international community to do all the work, because change usually comes from the inside, not from outside. And if we don't put ourselves together and get ourselves back up and to get things going, then it might be 5 years and we're still at the same place. So we have to come together, like it says in our flag, so we come together so we can get something done and help the community, because they're here to help, but we cannot leave the load upon themselves to take care of it. They cannot, and even though they want to.
Robin, you've also been to Haiti, and you've also been within the Haitian community. How long do you feel Haiti needs, or what kind of time frame should there be for us to see any sense of normalcy?
I think the answer to that question is dependent on multiple factors. And, you know, as I mentioned, I was there in June of 2009, and then I was able to return in February, 1 month after the earthquake. And so I had a very quick comparison, you know, within 1 year. And the damage is absolutely devastating. It's really nothing that pictures and video can describe. So immediately after that trip, when having a conversation about rebuilding, I was overwhelmed. I didn't have an answer for that. But now, after reflecting, a big thing for me when I was in Haiti was to speak to people there and say, what do you see for the rebuilding process? How do you foresee the future? And I met philosophers, engineers, teachers that were unemployed, you know, and that's what we need to focus on. If we can get the people there in Haiti employed, they have the skill set, the knowledge, everything to rebuild, but they need the opportunity and materials to do so. And so I think those factors, are they going to be employed? Is there going to be an infrastructure for Haitians to start to rebuild? If those come into place, then I think it will be a shorter time period for the rebuilding.
Ulrich, you mentioned that change has to come from within. Now, there will be change come November 29th. The scheduled elections on November 28th. And as we know, by the time this interview is aired, that Wycliffe Jean would have been, is now running for the presidency of Haiti, along with other entertainers and other individuals who I'm sure would like to throw their hat in the ring. Can Haiti afford celebrity politicians?
Well, we've been afforded all kind of politicians before. And I think the focus should not be on politicians or either celebrities, or it's what is it they want to do for the country? What is it they plan to do? Because we have people in power that have, I would not say they don't have any plan. Maybe they have a plan for themselves, but it's just about themselves. It's not the people. It's just if they're doing whatever they do, it's like everybody for yourself. You're left with nobody. It's like I would say a sheep with no shepherd. That's how it looks like. But if he comes in power, if he want to do something, because I know his motive should not be money, because I think he got more money than what the presidency would pay him. So if he comes in with an idea, okay, to raise the standard of living for the people, or create, maybe put something in place that will favor, development for the country.
I'm sure he'll be in a position to lure investors into Haiti.
I mean, that would be great for the country.
Evelyn,
to my knowledge.
Okay,
my opinion.
Evelyn, I'm going to throw you a curveball.
Okay.
Do you think Jean-Bertrand Aristide can again be the president of Haiti? Do you think he would?
I do not know him, and I don't know, so I cannot give a comment on that. Yes,
okay.
I've been living here in America for a long time.
Okay.
So I have no idea. So.
Okay, then
I'm
I'll
very
have to
sorry. I
throw
cannot
the
answer this
curveball back to Ulrich. Do you think that Jean, because he was an extremely popular president when he was there, back in 2004, his government was overthrown by the Clinton administration. Do you think that Jean-Bertrand Aristide has any chance of going back to Haiti and getting back into politics?
Well, one thing I can say, when he was president in 1990, I voted for him the first time. And I was not there in 2000 to vote for him because I would not. But I don't think that's something that is possible, because
tell us why.
I mean, the reason for that, if you really have a brain or something, you want to see, you're not looking out for your pocket. You see development. You see, moving forward. Why do we go back to the same pattern? Because when he was there, and that's at the time everything was falling apart. So he couldn't do anything about it.
Okay.
Why now?
So where did the popularity come from? From the grassroots?
Well, the popularity, when you've been president, you're always going to have people follow you. Either the poor people, either the mass, what we call the poor people, or the people that, that been dealing with other folks. You're going to have popularity anyway. But I don't think it's the same popularity that it used to be in the 90s. So I think that's a different scenario. That should be something.
But when Jean-Bertrand Aristide was overthrown, according to the United States government, it was because the government was weak. And now that Rene Preval is the president of the country, and he, unfortunately, cannot, or fortunately or unfortunately, he cannot run again after November, and the complaint is because there is still a weak government in Haiti. The reason being that there is hardly any infrastructure, and a lot of these monies that are not being distributed is a result of the ineptness of the government. Are these facts? Have you heard these?
Myself personally,
yes.
To people that I talk to, even the ones that are not educated, they know what type of presidency we have right now, or what type of people manage, who's managing the country right now.
What type of presidency does Haiti need?
We need somebody who will focus more on development, create infrastructure, but at least they're not the one who's going to make it happen, but they have to, create a climate that favors it, where other people can come and feel safe, where we need somebody that will create a climate where security will be, somebody, I don't have to be afraid if I go to Haiti, somebody's going to kidnap me or going to do something, try to get money from you. I think we need somebody who favors that. If they can favor like security, if there's security, they don't have to do anything else. Just create the climate, and then other people will feel safe to come and invest in the country and do other things. And people there will find work to do.
In the last couple of minutes that we have left, how can one get in contact with My Helping Hands worldwide?
We have two ways you can get in contact with us. You can either visit our page, which is myhelpinghandworldwide.org, or you can contact us at 813-270-6371.
Evelyn?
The Women's Federation can be contacted by www.wfwp.org, or you may call 813-403-0408. Here in Tampa. That's here in Tampa.
Okay, Robin, I know that you are not specifically connected to a particular organization, but if a community would like for you to come and address them and talk about issues, how can one do that?
Actually, it's not a formal organization, but as I stated, we had that meeting immediately after the earthquake, and so we wanted to create a database of local organizations that were doing relief work so that we could distribute that to people that were interested in doing work. And so if you want to email HaitiReliefTampa@yahoo.com. If you're an organization here locally that is still interested in being involved in Haiti relief efforts, please email us and we'll get your information to volunteers that are, potential volunteers. And if you're someone that says, okay, my heartstrings are still being pulled, I still want to do something, but I'm not sure what, and I want to be active, you can email us there, again, HaitiReliefTampa@yahoo.com, and we'll get you in touch with those organizations. So, and you can contact me there as well.
Great. And finally, I know it may not be difficult for you to get onto the Red Cross, because, Janet, how can one get in touch with the Red Cross?
Well, nationally, we have our website at redcross.org. Locally here, the Florida West Coast chapter, all over the state of Florida, you can go to any website and put in your zip code at redcross.org and it will bring it up. Or put in FL West Coast redcross.org and it'll bring it right up here on the west coast of Florida.
And I know that efforts are being stepped up because of this hurricane season, in which
yes.
No one knows how severe it will be, but the weather pattern all over the world
it only takes one.
Has been circumspect. Well, thank you all for joining us here on this inaugural broadcast of Carib Focus.
We're honored.
I am Ron bobb-semple and looking forward to seeing you next week. And please, stay strong and be aware. See you next week.
Yo, peace. This is Mecca, a.k.a. Grimo.